I'm just so happy that I got to play my childhood hero twice, and that's like, if I'm nothing but grateful for that, then there's something wrong. I'm just so grateful that I got to live out that dream.
Welcome to Watch Mojo's Poppin the Culture, your weekly entertainment touchpoint. And me, well, I'm your host with the most mojo, of course. That's right, it's me, Mr. Hollywood himself, Matt Demers. An amazing show is coming your way. I've got an exclusive interview with the one and only Andrew Garfield. We're talking Tick Tick Boom. And well, you know, I had to throw in some Spider-Man questions. Do not miss it, that's coming up. But first, let's jump head first into those Hollywood headlines. All right, as we do each and every show, we start things off with a little bit of a dissection in the world of Hollywood. And I always need help breaking it all down. And she's back. One of my faves over there at Watch Mojo. Hey, Kirsten, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited. By the way, I love your sweater. Is this a Christmas? Is this a holiday?
It's like a Christmas sort of horror thing. Yeah.
I love it.
Because, you know, I can't just have a normal Christmas jumper. It's got to have a horror aspect.
I love it. Hey, well, that's going to tie in nicely to some stuff we're talking about a little bit later. But I do want to kick things off with a look ahead. I mean, we're almost at the end of this year. And, you know, I always look to see what the new movies are going to be in the new year. I get excited with movie releases. Are you the same as me, or do you do that? Do you get anticipated, or do you just...
I think it depends on the movie. If it's something I've like, if I'm a fan of the franchise, then I'll get like really hyped and excited. Or if again, if it's anything like horror related, then I'm like, oh, this looks good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm very poor when it comes to like watching movies and actually like going to the cinema and things like that, because I just forget, and then I end up watching it like months after, like when the hype's kind of gone down.
Okay.
But yeah, if it depends, if it tickles my fancy, then I'll be like, I'm really excited.
I got a checklist on my phone with the release dates all circled and whatnot. So I want your opinions on some of these, because these are some big ones that I'm super excited about. You mentioned horror. We can't talk about that without talking about Scream, the return of Scream, the Scream franchise. It's number 5, I believe. Hey, I'm all in for this. I love me some Scream.
Yeah, it took me ages to actually sit down and properly watch Scream, because I accidentally watched it when I was a kid in the middle of the night once, and it kind of traumatized me. So I only recently sat down and probably watched it maybe a couple of months ago.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and then that was it. I was like kind of hooked into the whole Scream franchise, and I was like, okay, next one. So yeah, I'm really excited now. I love the fact that obviously they've kind of got the OG characters within it, and you know, we have our classic Sydney as well. Yeah, it's gonna be good. And Courtney Cox as well. Like, I don't know, I was just really excited when I saw David Arquette, Courtney Cox. I was just like, okay, I'm hyped now. This could be good. And I don't know why. I know there's been talks about like Stu sort of like making a comeback possibly with Matthew Lillard. So yeah, I'm kind of intrigued about. I know they're like, he's dead, but is he? He could have survived.
Horror movies, guys. Horror movies. And what I love about Scream is that it's a very meta franchise. So it's tongue in cheek in certain ways, where they'll reference things that happen within the franchise, those cliches, and they'll play with it and have fun with it, but they'll still make it creepy as all heck. Okay, I'm moving on because John Wick Chapter 4 is coming. Mr. Keanu Reeves, the GOAT, as I like to call him. Are you a John Wick fan? Because to me, this is the action franchise that we have going now. Nothing has been able to top the John Wick movies for me.
Yeah, I've again, that's another one I've still not sat down and properly watched. It's on my list. But yeah, every single trailer that I've sort of seen for them, they look amazing. And like you said, Keanu Reeves, he is just an absolute legend when it comes to like action movies, and he just embodies John Wick so well. So yeah, I think it's one I need to kind of sit down and go through the franchise, and hopefully by then I can sit down and watch the new one, and I'm all caught up. But I've heard great things. I've heard fantastic things.
Oh, you'll love it, Kirsten. And I'm sure people in the comments are being like, what, you haven't watched it yet? When you're done the movies too, guess what else is coming out next year? A TV show based on the mythology of it. There's a hotel. Yeah, you'll learn all about this. There's a special hotel called the Continental. This will be kind of a prequel that I understand that's what the show will be about. So I don't have any other details about that show. I do know it's coming next year. Fingers crossed, nothing gets delayed. A horror movie, and this is one, I'm like you. I love me some horror. This one looks really good. It's called The Black Phone. This is a Blumhouse horror movie. What really intrigued me, Kirsten, and I want your opinion on this, it's a director who did Sinister. So yeah, and I think it looks really great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have heard of it. I think I may have seen the trailer briefly, because it does sound familiar. And Sinister was one of those films that really, really creeped me out. So I'm hoping that, I mean, Blumhouse, I'm always a big fan of their stuff anyway.
Me too. But it's kind of hit and miss sometimes.
Yeah. I've heard good and bad things, and I'm like, I don't know. I like all of their stuff. Obviously some things are better than others, but I enjoy all of their stuff. But I know not everyone agrees. But it sounds really, really good, and it looks good. So I'm excited to see what they come. I'm hoping we're going to get some really creepy monsters.
Yeah, and like if you look at some of the first images that have come out in the first looks, it looks like there may be some good Halloween costumes. Or hey, you do a lot of cosplay, some cosplay inspiration.
There we go.
the horror variety. Are you a superhero fan? Because I mean, that's those are the movies that make the most money, and then people, they crash sites trying to buy the advanced tickets. Spider-Man, No Way From Home. But Doctor Strange has got the big one. In the Multiverse of Madness is the official title. Obviously, the new Spider-Man will feature Doctor Strange and the multiverse. I mean, that just opens up the world to anything and everything. So who knows what will be in this one? The rumor mill will probably go through the roof like it is right now. But yeah, what's your take on the superhero stuff?
I was like an old school superhero fan. I used to watch a lot of X-Men and things like that. And I really did enjoy, like when Iron Man came out and stuff. I was like, these are really, really good. And obviously I watched like the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. But there was just all of a sudden, there's just been such a huge Marvel boom, and there's just so many. And I'm just so behind. So I do get hyped for them. I love watching the trailers, and I'm like, yeah, this looks cool. And No Way Home looked fantastic, because obviously there's all this talk about Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and then there's Doc Ock, and that sort of appeals to me, because I'm like, okay, I liked the original Spider-Man, and it's bringing in characters from that. But there's just so many. I'm sure they're all fantastic, but I'm just so behind. It would take me so long to catch up with each individual. Like,
it's a little daunting. You're not alone. You're not alone, especially with the, hey, we got the Disney Plus shows, you got the movies. It's so that's a little daunting, but for those that love it, clearly love it a lot. All right. There's a few others I'll just highlight quickly here. Obviously the new Batman, the Robert Pattinson, which I am so stoked for. Did you know that there's a Bob's Burgers movie?
I did not know. And when I found out, oh my goodness, I am the biggest Bob's Burgers fan. You have no idea. Like, really? Even my 3-year-old watches it and she loves it. When I saw that, I was really excited, because I'm always like trying to keep up and see if there's new episodes, because it's just one of those ones that I can sit there and enjoy over and over again. It's always funny. The characters, every single character is funny. So yes, I am very excited for a Bob's Burgers movie.
No, I am too. Listen, I love adult animation. I love the comedy. And The Simpsons, remember they did their movie, the long anticipated movie? I thought it was really great, and I want them to do another one. But I'm all for it. Bob's Burger movie. I'm in. Did you know also Legally Blonde is coming back with Reese Witherspoon in the role?
Yeah, I did not know that. That was another one I was really excited about, because I just started watching them again recently. My partner had never seen them, so I sat down. I was like, "You should watch. This is actually really good. It's a good little franchise." So we sat down and watched them, and I was like, I really do enjoy this movie. And she's got such a great character. Ella's such a great character. She's all about, like, empowering women and sticking up for yourself, and just being like, just because she's blonde and beautiful doesn't mean that she's not intelligent. And she's just such a role model, especially when I was growing up. So yeah, the fact that Reese Witherspoon is coming back and reprising the role of Elle, and hopefully we get to see a little bit more of a backstory and how she's been getting on. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be lots of pink
lots of
imagery, lots of pink in that franchise. Okay, I'll end on this one because this one's got me intrigued too. This is Jordan Peele's next film, and if you know Jordan Peele, obviously the director behind movies like Get Out, he did Us. This one is called, what is this one called? The latest attempt to rejuvenate.
It's just Nope, isn't it? Nope.
Oh my God, you're right. It's just called Nope.
Nope.
And
big old load of nope.
Wow. Yeah. And this is also coming through Blumhouse, who did all his other movies. I love me some Jordan Peele. This is a guy that takes chances with his movies. He's obviously a fan of the genre. You know, I knew him mostly as a comedian with Key and Peele, but seeing his horror movies, I get so excited. And obviously there's so much social commentary seeped in with it. So I don't know. I'm excited no matter what. I don't really know much about it. I don't think there's too much out about it, but Nope is on my list.
Yeah, me too. I've been such a fan of all of his movies. I remember when it was announced his first one. I think it was Get Out was his first horror movie. And I was like, really, Jordan Peele? Like, is this he's going down this route? But yeah, like you said, he's clearly got a real big love for horror movies and clearly a talent for it as well. So yeah, Nope has been very ominous, but the fact that it's purely called Nope, I'm hoping that we are just it is gonna be the embodiment of nope. Nope, don't like this, turn it off. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's very ominous, very ominous.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. All right. This is going to tie nicely into my next topic because horror is coming to Netflix in the form of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yes, they are rebooting the film. Actually, it's a sequel to the original film, the 1974 slasher chainsaw bloodfest that came out. And guess what else is coming out next year? A video game on the franchise. Yeah, for real. You can play the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game. It's from the same people that did actually. There was one about Friday the 13th. There was an Evil Dead one. So I feel like these iconic horror characters are getting video games. Let's start with the movie first, Kirsten. Were you a fan of that first one?
A little bit. I've seen bits and pieces of it. That was one that I grew up watching a lot of horror movies, but my mum was very strict on certain ones that I could watch because if it was too scary, she was like,
I can see
no,
why.
I don't. Yeah. So that was one of the ones that I think scared her. So she was like, no, you're not allowed to watch. So I've seen bits and pieces. And I think that is one I need to properly sit down and properly pay attention to, but I'm aware of what happens. It's not going to be spoilers or anything, but yeah, very creepy. He's obviously the classic character, the Leatherface, and he's very scary. It's a very scary story, and the fact that it's based on true events as well is just even more disturbing. So yeah, he's a creepy guy.
Yeah, anytime, like if I do like a road trip and I end up in like, if you stop in like a small town to get some gas or or go to the corner store to get some snacks, all these horror movies that I see about.
Yeah, they prepare you. I always say horror movies, they really do prepare you for these situations. The amount of times I've been like, do you know what? Maybe let's not walk through that tunnel on our own. Maybe let's not like stop in this abandoned town with the crazy, people. So horror movies, they save lives.
Will you play the video game?
Possibly. I did play the Friday the 13th one and it was quite fun, but from the looks of things it does seem very similar to the Friday the 13th game. It just is about Leatherface, which is a shame. I feel like if they kind of went down the route of a more story-based kind of thing and sort of had a kind of an Until Dawn kind of look to it and stuff, it would be a lot scarier. But yeah, they're clearly kind of going down the multiplayer route. So, but each to their own. I'm not a fan of multiplayers too much, but I know that's quite a big market. So, whatever works.
Whatever works. And speaking of whatever works, whatever works for you during the holidays to get your viewings in. We've been talking the past couple of weeks, Kirsten, about classic holiday movies that people should check out. We've got some nice recommendations. I thought with you, we'd mix things up a little bit and do, because what we now see, thanks to movies like Die Hard, is that people are revisiting these what I like to call alternative holiday movie picks that are your classics. What do you got? You got your A Wonderful Life, you've got your Home Alone, you've got your Grinches. So do you have any that you would put under that alternative category?
For some reason, I always watch Ghostbusters around Christmas time. Especially the second one. I think it is because it's based around like New Year's and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know why. Whenever I think of like what's a good film to put on a Christmas, just Ghostbusters. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just a nice family film, and it's something you can sit down and have some, biscuits and things. It's Ghostbusters, the holiday movie.
You're not wrong. Ghostbusters is a good one. There's also lots of horror movies that are kind of centered around the holiday season.
Krampus is a good one.
Krampus, yes.
Krampus is very good.
I do remember seeing that and do remember enjoying it. I also remember the remake of Chucky in theaters. It was I think it was just called was it just called Chucky? But it takes place during the holiday season. I remember there's a guy that gets kind of hung up in the Christmas lights. So and what there's also one called Black Christmas, I believe, which is kind of an old school slasher film and girls in a dorm room.
Yeah, I've been seeing that popping up onto Netflix recently, and I was like, oh, I've heard about this, but this isn't what I thought it was. So that might be one I need to sit down and watch, because I am one of those crazy people that does enjoy watching horror movies at Christmas, because
I'm also thinking of one. There's one image that I have, and I've seen this movie years ago, and the title's escaping me. He's a Santa Claus. He's dressed as Santa Claus, and he's going around killing people with an axe. And there was a terrible sequel, and he's the classic line, "Garbage Day." Do you know what I'm talking about?
Does
ringing any bells?
I do.
Oh, I think it's something called Silent Night or Deadly Night.
Yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night, I think it is. Yeah, Garbage. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've never seen it. It's just
they're not good.
No, it was just such a meme that I think people just sat down and watched it just for a laugh. But do you know what I just thought of as well? Gremlins. Gremlins is another fantastic Christmas film that I was trying to explain to my partner the other day. I was like, we should watch Gremlins. It's a good Christmas film. But then I was going into the fact, like, when she tells the story about what happened to her dad, and he was like, why would you watch this at Christmas? This is horrible. I was like, because it's creepy and I like it. It's fun.
You're absolutely right about Gremlins. I love it. All right. So we want to know out there what you guys think. What are some of your alternative movie picks during the holidays, and do you like mixing Christmas and horror? There's lots of good options out there. Hey, Kirsten, don't go anywhere. Me and you, well, it's time for us to go beyond the list. All right, Kirsten, now we are going to go in the vast archives of Watch Mojo's top 10 list, click one out and go beyond that list with some further takeaways and opinions, and see if Watch Mojo got it right or wrong. They rarely get it wrong. This one is pure nostalgia for me. I don't want to age myself too much, but I'm a product of the 90s. I'm not afraid to say it. And today we're talking the top 10 sexiest 90s movie characters. Okay, I have some already in my mind that I'm hoping are on the list. So I'm sure we'll have some fun with this one. Are you a sucker for 90s nostalgia for some reason? And it's like I said, it's probably because I'm a product of the 90s. Anytime I see something from the 90s, I gotta watch it.
I'm also a 90s baby, so I love anything 90s fashion, movies. It just brings back such nostalgia and just makes me feel like a kid again. I love it. So I'm intrigued.
Okay, we're starting things off with an interesting choice. This is from 1995's James Bond outing GoldenEye.
Okay.
The character Xena Onatopp. I remember her. She was a Bond villain who, her thing was she killed people with, she would straddle them, she would get on top of them, and she would squeeze her thighs.
Right.
And she had some, and I remember it was such pleasure for her to do this that you'd think she was doing something else.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Famke Janssen who plays the role.
Yeah.
He would go on to do some of the X-Men movies as well, and other
Jean
things.
Grey.
Very, very lovely actress. Yeah. I like this. I like this as a bad guy.
Yeah, she's very beautiful, and I am a big fan of Famke. So I've never seen GoldenEye though, but I can imagine that she is probably very sexy in it, especially again the whole thighs squeezing. Yeah, some people enjoy that sort of thing. So
Yeah, there you go. Just don't take it too far. The GoldenEye is actually pretty good. You should watch it if you're a Bond fan. This is Pierce Brosnan. That was his first one, and probably his well, I don't, maybe his only good one not his fault. I think movie wise, Goldeneye was the best one. All right, let's move on to number 9. Another interesting choice for me. This one's Lilu from The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
With the
I had
outfits.
a huge crush on her as a kid.
Yeah.
Because it's Mila Jovovich.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
I'm picturing,
she's gorgeous.
I'm picturing the bondage-esque outfits that she was wearing, right?
Yes, then it's very revealing.
And she had the big combat boots. Yeah, I think for me the outfits went a long way here. That's a good movie. I want to rewatch The Fifth Element.
I always if anyone's not seen it, I'm always like, you have to watch it. It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
And she does such a good job in it. She's so cute and she's so adorable, but she's also badass because that's just Mila, apparently. You know, she does Resident Evil and Fifth Element, and she's just so cool in it. I remember watching it and just being like, I love this person. I want to be her. She is so cool. Fifth Element is fantastic, and the opera scene is just it's so good. You will be downloading the soundtrack.
That's whenever I do these podcasts, I'm always like, okay, now I got to watch this movie tonight. Yeah. Always brings me a new thing I got to watch. This next one I've seen a bazillion times, that movie being Wayne's World. The number 8 on the list is Cassandra Wong, who is played by the beautiful Tia Carrere, who, I mean, if you grew up in the 90s, you know who she was. She was on a show called, I think, was it Relic Hunter? It was almost Indiana Jones-esque. But in this movie, she's the love interest of our titular Wayne.
Swing. Oh, definitely. Yeah, she's fantastic, and what a voice as well. When I found out that she was actually like singing and performing in the movie, I was like, wow, she's got some pipes. So yeah, that's just like another attractiveness factor for me, is that she can wail.
Yeah, talented. And I saw her recently, well, maybe a couple of years back. It was at a comic convention in my hometown, and I had a chance to chat with her, and such a nice person. And she good news, she has fond memories making the movie Wayne's World. You know, when you hear people like, I didn't really enjoy that time. No, she loved it, and she said that she holds those memories near and dear to her heart, and she still looks fantastic. And what a great performance, and a funny movie. Even Wayne's World too.
Yeah, they're both great. They're both fantastic.
She's in both, by the way. All right, this one's an interesting one. I know what this might be a little obscure for people. Number 7 on the list is Angela Lewis. The movie's called Boomerang. Came out in 1992. I know this, but only because it's Halle Berry, and she's the one that we're talking about, the character. Okay. It's her first movie.
Okay.
And she broke out on the scene. Who was she with? She was pitted against, I think it was Eddie Murphy. Yeah, it was Eddie Murphy in here. And I think what stood out for a lot of people is that she's kind of stuck in this bit of a love triangle-esque situation, but she's kind of a scene stealer. So she's in the movie with Eddie Murphy, Robin Givens, Martin Lawrence, Chris Rock shows up in here. You got all these heavyweights, and then you've got Halle Berry in kind of her first big movie, and she's stealing the show. I think that's
she's gorgeous. I love Halle Berry.
And you want to talk about someone who's also sexy, but it can also kick butt. She's in a new Netflix movie called Bruised, and she plays an MMA fighter. And she did, and she apparently did all the training, and she directed it as well. But she's in this movie, and she's someone that I'm now convinced can kick my butt.
I don't think I would want to go up against Halle Berry.
Yeah, so fantastic. Vanessa Kensington is now number 6 from Austin Powers International.
I was like, why do I recognize that name? Yeah, Mrs. Kensington.
Yeah. Elizabeth Hurley. Oh man, yeah, I know people in my high school who had Elizabeth Hurley posters on their locker. Yeah, she was in, what else was she in? Bedazzled. Remember, she was like the evil devil.
Yes. Oh, she's really good in that. She's beautiful. She's very pretty, and she's British, and yeah, she does such a good job in Austin Powers at just being like unintentionally sexy. And yeah, the fact that she kind of tries to fight off Austin, she's very not interested. And they have such a good dynamic with each other in that movie. And yeah, Mrs. Kensington, I am a fan.
Who was she? Hugh Grant, right? Her and Hugh Grant were the kind of the it couple for a while in the 90s. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, we're at the halfway point. So yeah, I'm expecting those people that I had in my mind to kind of show up. And sure enough, number 5 is one of them. From Basic Instinct, 1992, Catherine Trammell. This is Sharon Stone. She did the classic leg cross.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think everyone, I feel like everyone had a crush on Sharon Stone, probably because of that scene for a lot of people.
Well, she's playing the femme fatale, and she is so good because, you know, you're attracted to her, but you're also scared of her, and it's there's a seduction there. I think she's a great actress, and she commands the screen. Who is she? Michael Douglas was her counterpart. So great stuff there from Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct. Although she did reprise the role in a sequel, which I do not recommend.
She was also actually in a movie with Halle Berry, which is obviously the Catwoman movie, and I'm just gonna throw my hand up. I really enjoyed Catwoman when I was a kid, mainly because of Halle Berry. But yeah, she's also really good in that. Sharon Stone. She's like the evil. She's really good. She's very good at being evil. I don't know why. She pulls it off well.
She's got a great. I feel like she should have some sort of a career resurgence. Let's get some more Sharon Stone on our screens. I think she could do fun stuff. Number 4, we're going with Desperado, the film, the character Carolina. And this is Robert Rodriguez's celebrated Desperado films. And the actress, if I'm not mistaken, is Salma Hayek.
Oh,
a classic of the 90s who I remember her in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh my goodness.
With the snake scene. I probably would have put
Hayek
that.
Is just the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. She is so pretty. Like in the Adam Sandler movies, is it Grown Ups? I think it's Grown Ups.
Oh yes.
She's just so funny and so beautiful, and I love her. And I just Salma Hayek, just in general, just as a person, she's fantastic.
No, I think you're right. I think you're onto something. She's got a great sense of humor, and I think that's also, I mean, a lot of these, you can find a lot of sexy ladies out there who are just so easy on the eyes. But when you add in a fun personality, someone who's got a great sense of humor, and obviously uber talented, I mean, then you're just checking off all the boxes.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Their sex appeal goes through the roof. All right. Oh, number 3. Sorry to disappoint, Kirsten. We're doing Catwoman, but not the one you're thinking of.
Okay.
This is from Batman Returns, but I can't disagree with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, I'm a fan of Halle Berry, but Michelle Pfeiffer is Catwoman. I mean, you can't.
That suit.
She's so beautiful, and that iconic Catwoman suit. She's fantastic in it as well. The fact that she goes from this timid, sort of frail little lady to just this absolute badass. She's fantastic in that movie. And
stole the movie too, in my opinion. Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, you had Danny DeVito doing the Penguin, who I think was actually really great. Obviously, Michael Keaton was back as Batman, but Catwoman is who you remember in that movie with the whip. And
when she licks his face, it's just, ooh. Just, you're going too far, Michelle.
There's a scene with a bird. She's visiting Penguin, and there's a bird. She puts it in her mouth. That's a real live bird.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I watched the behind the scenes documentary. She got really into the role, so because she was going to eat the bird. So she put it. The character was. So she puts it in, and then of course she just take it out and give it back. But that was real. She really put this live bird.
That poor bird, but like also wow, good.
And all her. And all the scenes with the whip where she takes the heads off the mannequins. That's all her. She did all this on her own.
My love for her has just got even higher. She's so talented. How are these people so talented?
No, she's great. She's great. All right. And she was one of the ones I was thinking of, by the way. So I'm glad she's on the list. We're at number 2 now. The Mask of Zorro is the film, 1998. And of course, we are going with Catherine Zeta-Jones as Alana.
Classic.
Montero. Yeah, it was classic. And I think Catherine Zeta-Jones, really, her sex appeal and her screen presence were sky high in the 90s.
Yeah.
And Zorro was a big part of that. She played the original Zorro's daughter, right?
Oh, okay. Okay. I just remember her from The Haunting. She's really good in that as well. Beautiful.
She's one of those timeless beauties too, that if you see her now, I see her at a lot of red carpets or award shows. Man, she still looks great.
She's still beautiful.
All right, there's honorable I love when there's honorable mentions, because then we can be like, all right, they didn't make the list, but at least we'll mention them. Species. Do you remember this movie?
Yes.
Syl is the character, and it was an alien who was trying to bed some men so she can procreate, and she was very seductive. I remember this movie very well. Brandy, the roller girl from Boogie Nights.
Oh,
I mean, hello, 1997. What else we have? Billy Madison was the movie, and Veronica Vaughn, the teacher.
Yeah. Just yeah.
I know. I'm picturing it as I'm saying. I'm like,
yeah.
What else did we have on here? Independence Day, Jasmine Dubrow.
Oh, that is. I can't think of the actress's name, but I know who they mean.
Yeah. So there
Very
you go.
pretty.
All right. So that brings us to number 1 on this list, man. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading it and I'm like processing it. I'll say it out loud now. It's Tina Carlisle from The Mask.
Oh, so Cameron Diaz. Okay. I mean, she was another one that I feel like in the 90s, she was just huge. You know, she's and I think The Mask was it her first movie?
Yes. So that's the thing, and I think again going back to what Halle Berry broke out.
Yeah, she is beautiful, and she's funny, she's pretty, she's fun to watch, and I mean Charlie's Angels as well. Like, yeah, I'm a fan of Cameron Diaz, and I get another one that is just timeless beauty. She still looks amazing, and yeah, good for her. Good for her.
No, you're right.
Well done, Cameron.
And again, opposite Jim Carrey. So it's easy to get lost in a scene with Jim Carrey. And you see her in, I'm picturing the stuff at the Coco Bongo where she's doing the dancing and the singing. And she's right there holding her own with Jim Carrey, and she's coming down the stairs in that sparkly dress. So yeah, I'm not going to disagree with this one. And then bravo, Watch Mojo, and an inspired choice, if you will, for number 1. Okay, I want to know out there, did we miss any 90s movie characters? Obviously these were female movie characters. Where were the men? So that
no men.
I probably should have mentioned that in the beginning, but yeah, the men I think had another list. So there you go.
Okay,
Kirsten, I can't thank you enough for joining us here on the program. You're always one of my favorites to be here. Hope you have a wonderful holiday and a happy new year.
Yeah, you too. Hopefully it's be a nice, safe and healthy one for all of us.
Absolutely. All right, guys, it's time now for our Mojo Chat of the week with Andrew Garfield. He's a Tony Award winner, an Academy Award nominee, and he's also my favorite Spider-Man. Okay, I said it. And I'm so excited to talk to Andrew Garfield about Tick, Tick, Boom over there on Netflix. Andrew, how are you doing, by the way?
I'm good, Matt. Thanks for that intro. What a sweet thing. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, and I'm excited to chat with you about this. One of the things that really, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but one of the things that surprised me when I watched this was like, Andrew Garfield can really sing. I had no idea.
I don't take that the wrong way. I was surprised too.
Did you have trepidation going in and putting your voice out there? Because someone who doesn't sing, I would be petrified.
Oh no, it was I wanted to run away multiple times. Yeah, it's so vulnerable because I never sung, as you say, and I knew that I needed to get to a certain level of confidence to be able to belt out these Jonathan Larson numbers in the way that Jonathan Larson would sing them, which was with his full body, all of his cells, his heart coming out of his mouth. So I knew that I had a long way to go because, you know, the extent of my singing previous to this was, you know, Will Smith's Miami at drunk karaoke kind of thing. So like I had a big chasm to cross, but you know, Lynn provided me with the time and the resources. I had an amazing singing coach. I had a year to get ready. Same with piano as well. I had an amazing piano teacher and yeah, I had a year. So and again, you know, Liz Kaplan and then all of like, you know, Kurt Crowley and Alex Lacamoire, they all kind of, it took a village to get my voice open to that level.
Well, it worked. They all did a fantastic job, as did you. And I would love to hear you sing again. I know they tried it once with the Spider-Man musical, but I think Let's get Andrew in on that. Let's talk about your character, because I also went to theater school. I took some acting classes, and watching this movie, I'm like, I know these people. There was such an authenticity there, and that really rang true for your character. And obviously, it was based on a true life guy. But how much of Jonathan was Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. Same. You know, I feel a real affinity, a real kindred spirit to John. I feel like I would have, you know, I look up to him as an older brother of theater now. You know what I mean? Like it was like being introduced to a long lost brother I didn't know I had. And yeah, because we share the same ethics, the same values, the same longings, the same dreams, and we both value art. We both value story and music, and you know, creativity as a way of life that is of the utmost meaning. Like it saves life. Art saved my life. Story saved my life. And I think without it, we wouldn't have a culture. We wouldn't have. It reminds us of our interconnectedness. And John was someone who so felt the agony of a world in need of healing. You know, especially during the AIDS crisis, where the film is set, and you know, during a political administration of the Reagan administration that wasn't doing anything about it, that was treating people like animals without dignity or humanity. And John felt that in the deepest way in his soul, and it resonated around his body until he, you know, started writing about it and singing about it. And for me, I think that's the job of the artist. That the job of the artist is to reflect the times we're in through timeless storytelling, and to remind us of who we are, and to remind us of show us how we're missing the mark and how we can hit the mark. And I you know, and so I feel a real affinity with John and a real gratitude to John as a kind of ancestor artist, because he shows us how to live. He shows us the value of community, the value of, you know, staying threaded to that primary dream of your own giftedness in your own life, to live a life that's meaningful and not just in uniform with how you know, maybe a less than healthy culture wants you to live.
Yeah, no, and I really felt that, and I think everyone else watching it will feel that as well. All right, before I go, you know, I'm with Watch Mojo, and I'd probably lose my job if I didn't use the S word here and forget No Way Home. Would you make an appearance in the new Across the Spider-Verse?
Is this the new animated?
Yeah, maybe you could.
I mean, like I loved that first movie. I love all the movies. Like I love Tom Holland's movies, the John Watts movies. I love the Spider-Verse movie. I thought it was just incredibly inventive. I watched that 3 times. Listen, I'm just so happy that I got to play my childhood hero twice, and that's like, if I'm nothing but grateful for that, then there's something wrong. I'm just so grateful that I got to live out that dream. So that's all
right. I won't bug you any more than everyone else has, but I do want to remind everyone, Tick, Tick, Boom. Do not miss it. It's on Netflix. And Andrew, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it.
Well, that's going to do it for another episode, everybody. My thanks to Kirsten for joining in on all the fun. And of course, Andrew Garfield. How cool is that guy? Hey, I want to know what you guys think out there. If there's anything you want me to chat about on the show, make sure you drop it in the comments. But thanks for watching and listening. Until next time, I've been Mr. Hollywood, Poppin the Culture.